My name is Andrew Carnegie. I was born on November 25th in 1835 in Scotland. When I was 13 years old, I moved to America with my parents and began a job as a messenger. As I slowly developed better skills, I was moved up a rank as a telegraph operator. In 1853, Thomas A. Scott of the Pennsylvania Railroad Company employed me as a secretary operator with a salary of $4 per week. After advancing through the company, I became a superintendent of the Pittsburgh Division of Railroads. Throughout my childhood, I worked on railroads to help support my family. I learned at an early age that the railroad industry was much more than just trains. I started investing oil and steel and ended up making much more money than I could have ever expected. Around 1865, I left the company to pursue my other interests and businesses. Growing up and being familiar with the steel industry, I developed and owned the Carnegie Steel Corporation by 1889. This ended up being the largest steel company in the world, making me one of the world's richest men. I became known as one of America's builders because my company fueled the United States economy. I used the idea of vertical integration and made new metals out of raw materials. Not only did this help my company thrive, but it also allowed companies to produce over 2,000 tons of metal every day. This metal could be then used to create new railroads that would later be used to transport goods, products, and people. With this advancement, the Industrial Revolution boomed with the increase in manufacturing and the trading of goods. Besides the steel company, however, when I retired at age 65, I sold my company for $200 million and started focusing more on my study of philanthropy. I made a donation to the New York Library of $5 million so they could open new branches of the library, opened over 2,800 libraries, and created the Carnegie Foundation for the advancement of teaching. My goal in life was to prove to people that no matter who you are, success will find you someday. I started off as a poor Scottish immigrant and turned out to be one of the world's richest men. In my book, The Gospel of Wealth, I showed the public how my goal was not greed, but rather generosity towards others. After a long 83 years, however, I died on August 11, 1919, due to bronchial pneumonia.